Watching the new Batman movie is an orgasmic experience. It's like biting into a fresh piece of pepperoni pizza or drinking some water after a mouthful of chocolate. You know what I'm talking about. The Batman starring Edward Cullen is a masterpiece. This is what I wanted from a Batman, and what I'm honestly never have gotten before. Christopher Nolan trilogy was very close, but it cannot be compared to the beauty and masterpiece of Matt Reeves' film, whatever his name was. It's a dark, broody film, probably the darkest we have seen from all of the Batman films. If you like watching movies on your TV in the broad daylight, this movie will be unwatchable for you, but I guess you can listen to it in the form of an audiobook. And what I love about this movie the most is that there isn't that much action. They have really focused in this movie on the detective aspect of Batman. You know, him being the world's greatest detective and all. There isn't that many action, that much action or that much explosions, which is great. Not to say that there aren't any, but because there are action scenes, there's very cool fighting scenes with Batman, but they're not as over the top as Christopher Nolan ones, which I really appreciate. They're definitely toned down and it's not the focus of the movie. Batman here is also just a dude and a costume, and you can really feel that, and I freaking love it. No green screen power suit here for sure. No superpowers, no ninja powers, no bats making him fly out of whatever it was. Was it a whale? I think so. Nothing like this. He's just a dude that has an armor on. I love it. You can see his humanity and his vulnerabilities, as well as his strengths in this movie, which makes him the perfect hero. Pattinson fits the role shockingly well. He's definitely much more emo than previous Batman, and he is definitely really neglecting Bruce Wayne in this movie, which I'm glad. I don't want to see Bruce Wayne. Honestly, I don't care about Bruce Wayne. I'm here for Batman. Catwoman is also quite cool. She's also much more grounded. No super cat powers or any bullshit like that. She's just very gymnastic lady with lots of wits. She's also much less morally grey in this movie than in previous movies or in Arkham games. She's not 100% on the right side or on the good side, but she's definitely leaning more towards it than in Arkham, for example, when she was really mostly bad. And yes, she does have a line saying about white men, but she is right, and you know it, so fuck up. Now the villains, and damn, villains are great in this movie. The whole casting was great, from Gordon to Alfred, but I do have to say the villains were where the movie shined. So shockingly, there were lots of villains, but it didn't feel like there were too much. Penguin was great, much more realistic and very interesting character, one that you love to hate. He was somewhat of a comedic relief, which was a very surprise, but it wasn't on the nose, and he was better than Danny DeVito for sure. The big boss, Falcone, I think his name was, really reminded me of a character from a mobster movie. He was very well written, very well acted, and you could feel he was a cold motherfucker. And of course, the Riddler. Riddler was great in this movie. I dare to say it is first good Riddler in a Batman movie ever. No offense, Jim Carrey, I love you, but no, take that away. He's not a goofy and silly, weirdo. He is just a psychopath, a self-proclaimed freedom fighter who is just a madman. He's like a Unabomber kind of fella who thinks he is the moral one, and everyone else around him are morally bankrupt, which he was kind of right about. But his methods weren't that good. He does legitimately seem like someone you would have seen on Making a Murderer or something like that. From his acting to his costume design, he was amazing, and I want to see more of him. And he actually could become the main baddie of this franchise, and honestly, I don't have anything against that. But question is, does this film have any flaws? I'm just being praising it. I'm saying it's the best movie ever. But does it have flaws? And it does have a flaw, which is at the same time one of its strengths, which is the fact how realistic this movie is. I mean, I loved it at one hand, but just the fact that there's no element of pseudoscience or anything similar means some villains just won't be possible in the sequels. Like, I just can't see, for example, Poison Ivy making an appearance. Like, I just don't see how would that be possible. Someone who can control flowers and is part flowers in this universe where literally there's nothing unrealistic. Like, there's nothing magical or crazy about Riddler. He is basically Jigsaw, but his traps are much simpler. That's all it is. So I don't know how, for example, Man-Bat could come into play in this universe. But who knows, you know? At the same time, you know, I struggle to think how Batman would fit with the Joker movie, but now I could realistically see a crossover happening there because they are very similar in tone. But yeah, what would I give this movie? I would definitely give this movie 9 out of 10. I want to say 9.5, but I think at certain points the movie maybe was a little bit slow. There's one dragged out scene at the end, but overall I love the message of the movie. I love Robert Pattinson. To be fair, I always liked him, but I was really unsure about this role, but he nailed it. He's so good in it. And of course, the Riddler, he is the best. And you know what? I like Joker. I was my favorite character, but if Riddler continues what he was doing here, I definitely will have my new favorite supervillain. But anyway, have you watched the film? If you have, let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't, why not? What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? Go and watch it now. And of course, like this video and subscribe for more future content. We are at 600 and something subscribers right now. We are trying to reach 1,000 by the end of the year, which seems to be very plausible. We also will be looking to go to 10k subscribers if you want to look at my beautiful face. So yeah, if you want unmasking, I guess, or unbagging of my face, then yeah, subscribe, share it with your friends and enemies, and just try to get me more and more subscribers. That's what my life source is. But yeah, that's all from me, and I see you next time. Bye.